this week. First of all, we have the last new moon of winter in Pisces on the 18th. We have the spring equinox Friday, the 20th, opening Aries season, in addition to Mercury going direct into retroshade until March 22nd, inviting a gentler approach favoring spiritual surrender over forced action. It's time to open our hearts, aiding us to trust everything is moving in the right direction, encouraging all of us to embrace the unseen world, trusting the flow of divine order unfolding with grace. The new moon is when the sun and the moon are together, or what we call conjunct. The moon describes our instinctive emotions and our nature and our innate reaction to all things needing to feel comfortable and secure and all that emotional stuff. The sun describes who we are willing to become, the center of our personality, what drives and motivates us, aiding us to embrace the wholeness and the power of our soul. The word equinox means to create equal when the earth has equal days and equal nights. Note, spring equinox honors the real new years, and it spiritually enhances new beginnings graced by infinite possibilities. This powerful celestial time calls for us to remember seeds grow in the dark, inviting a deeper connection to our soul's wisdom and truth, enhancing enlightenment, unfolding our soul's path, aligning with destiny, fulfillment, and infinite possibilities. That word again. No, this is not a time to forgive the shade or shady haters in your life. This is not a time to forgive the shade or shady haters in your life. The call to action is to be true to ourselves, taking our power back from all things impeding wisdom and wholeness. We gain power by kicking to the curb all things no longer in our favor. Again, we gain our power, kicking to the curb all things no longer serving our favor. This is an emboldening, truthful time, inviting maturity and wisdom to the table. This is a time to transcend new moon in Pisces illusions, Mercury retrograde shade, and confusion, to manifest magic and standing on purpose, empowered to embrace change and think of achieving the heights of our soul potential as we enter the equinox in the real new years. So going forward with our Mindful Monday meditation, I invite you to take a journey into the world behind your eyes, softening your heart, releasing your ego to hear your soul's wisdom, unapologetically embracing divine truth, releasing all things incongruent to self-love, self-empowerment, and a new beginning. So give yourself permission to be here and now, connecting with our Mindful Monday meditation journey, to go within to explore the world behind our eyes. So take the biggest breath you've had all morning. And as you exhale, give yourself permission to relax. And as you relax and breathe, place both hands over your heart. Feel your heartbeat. Breathe and give yourself permission to release, relax, and let go. Close your eyes. Be here and now. Close your eyes and go inward. And as you breathe, imagine a beautiful bright light shining over the top of your head. Breathe, visualizing this light melting down from your head to the soles of your feet, covering your body with a beautiful, brilliant, healing light. Relax and breathe in this light. Breathe in this light, holding the image of your body covered inside and out in this beautiful, healing light. And as you exhale, let go. Relax. Embrace the healing energy of this positive, glowing light moving through you and around you and anchoring you here and now as you feel centered and grounded with your feet touching the earth. Breathe and mindfully connect to the center of the wholeness within you. Relax, let go, calm your mind, calm your body, and be right here, right now, on purpose, empowered to say yes, to integrate self-love. Be in this moment and relax. And just say out loud, as I put these verses out here to you, say out loud with me here and now our Mindful Monday declaration for the week. Today, I open myself to true inspiration, embracing the truth that my life is God's life. Breathe and connect to that. I allow myself to stand with pride, trusting the truth of who I am here and now. I embrace and accept that I am blessed by a force greater than myself. Bring that in, knowing that you are blessed by a force greater than yourself. Quiet your mind, opening yourself to receive inspiration and motivation from seen and unseen places. I take my power back to embrace the blessings of new beginnings as I stand in faith with a clear heart, a clear mind, and a clear spirit. Just breathe. And as you breathe, sit in this quietness for a moment and allow yourself to be very present in the world behind your eyes. And open yourself to receive our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Our Mindful Monday affirmation, listen with an open heart. Today, I unapologetically take my power back, embracing self-love, manifesting miracles with ease. Today, I unapologetically take my power back, embracing self-love, manifesting miracles with ease. Relax and breathe. And as you breathe, continue to hold the image of your body surrounding in this beautiful, brilliant light you created. And bringing your awareness back, being in present time. And giving yourself permission to unapologetically take your power back and embrace self-love, opening the space to manifest miracles with grace and ease. Bring your hands to your thighs, feel your feet anchored. Imagine this light continuing to glow all over your body, inside and out, and make a promise to shine that light as you go through your day. And I thank you, Dominique, have a smiley, Miles, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetically blessed week, taking your power back, embracing self-love, manifesting miracles with ease.
Absolutely. And Friday's equinox, what do we need to know about that?
Okay, so equinox needs to create equal and create a balance. And so what an equinox does energetically, first it ushers in spring and the Aries season, but it also opens the space for a karmic balance. It's a time of a clean karmic slate. So between now and Friday, clean out the closet, glove compartments, and release all the things no longer serving the wholeness that you seek, because it's springing forward, it's planting new seeds. Like we put a seed in the ground, and by, this is March, by April, May, you have some beautiful flowers. And so think about what are the seeds you're willing to plant in your life that is going to yield the healing, the clarity, the abundance, the freedom, or whatever it is that you need to bring fulfillment and empowerment to your life over the next 3 months. And as we do step into Aries season, remember, it's a Genesis time. It's a time of major new beginnings. It's a time for closure, but more than anything, it's time to pick up your power and not be lazy about the happiness that you want to experience in your life. And it's so important, and I keep saying it over and over again, believe people when they tell you who they are, and if they no longer serve your highest good, bless them and go on about your business.
Bless them and go on about your business. But spring equinox is also, that's a beautiful reminder that we get a clean slate. If you look at Friday as a clean slate or an opportunity to create a fresh start, it's a little way of inspiring us to clean out those closets, which of course is favored under a Mercury retrograde. And so that's nice. I love it I love this time of year when the seeds we plant start to come forward and we get the light coming back and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's a powerful time. So remember to be true to yourself and know that karmically things are going to close. And if they close, let them go. Let it go, let it go.
Don't hold on to what's already over and done with. Yes, indeed. And then that retroshade you said comes in the 20. When did you say? The 22nd. So
yeah,
that's
Mercury is moving direct, and as it moves direct, it wobbles for a couple of weeks. Like before Mercury retrograde, it wobbles, and then when Mercury goes direct, it wobbles, and it's called retroshade because it's not in its complete light. It's not stationary. It's not centered, and it's not moving completely direct yet. So we call it
Right.
retroshade because anything could happen.
So you're saying like between March 22nd and 2 weeks from that, whenever that is,
Right,
we're
because it's like a
talking about,
14-day journey.
yeah. So in that
Yeah.
period, we're still talking about what's basically through the 6th of April.
Yeah, and what's really dynamic as we move into Aries season, asking us to understand the wholeness within us, it's so important because these Aries planets are conjunct Saturn for the first time like in 2,000 years. So what do we, 2,000 years, you get a restart about who you are willing to become. How are you going to allow yourself to understand? Because Aries is I am. I am one with the powers that be to navigate the wholeness in my life. So how are you willing to be one with the divine energy of the universe to connect to your wholeness so that you can manifest what it is that you need to experience for the evolution of your soul? And, the
Good.
other part is be prayed up. Just get prayed up.
Yeah. So who are you willing to be for the next 2,000 years? That's
At least for the next 2.5 with Saturn and Aries, because it's challenging you to thy own self be true, and it's an aggressive sign, and we see the misuse of power and dysfunctional, aggressive energy. We see that. So it's real important to know thyself and have emotional management and discernment, and to also be able to be true to yourself. So when the craziness comes to you, you don't give your power away and end up having some detrimental experience unfolding in your life, because Aries, they'll hit you upside the head.
yeah, yeah. Well, I know. I'm always pushing the envelope here on our Monday first break, 7 o'clock hour, because I always want to hear something else. Something else. I always have a question, but maybe we can at least quickly touch on this. This idea that we are coming out of retrograde, but you had mentioned last week there's some other planets retrograde, so we might not feel the full relief from it throughout the month of until after the month of April.
Right. I talked about it before. It's like this Mercury retrograde was like a 30-day dynamic, and it's on steroids because it had Mercury, it had Venus, it had aspects from Saturn, it had, Neptune. Just all of these dynamics unfolding to help us really get clear about who we are willing to become and to bring truth to things that have been hidden, and also to help us reframe who are we willing to become. And so things are looking like they're moving slow, or just nothing everything's at a standstill, or that one thing that I noticed, a lot of corporate companies are having a lot of upheaval because it's a karmic balance that is being called to action about what's fair and what's not fair. And so you think about unconsciously how you've been framing things, what's fair and what's not fair. And so this Mercury retrograde is asking for diplomacy. But to get diplomacy, you benefit by knowing, well, what's true and what's fair to you. Because what's true and fair to somebody else may not work for you, as we see on a global level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So in the whole stay prayed up. Oh, and and look inside and look at your own part and your own role is really. I mean, we should always do that. I know, but we're really tasked to do that even more than usual, pretty much all the way through April.
Well, the goal is, especially with Saturn and Aries for the next 2.5 years, the question is, do you know yourself? Because the question is, know thyself. So do you know yourself? Do you know how to manage your emotions? Do you know what brings you joy? Do you know what you're passionate about? Do you know what your fulfillment looks like? And how are you willing to engage in that, in celebrating the wisdom and truth you know about yourself?
Yeah. Do you know yourself? Do you even want to know yourself? No, I'm just playing. Know yourself,
Well, do
Zara.
you want to embrace the truth about yourself? That's the question. Because
Yes.
if you don't, especially with this retro shade, you will find out. Because you will be faced with circumstances where it's important for you to tell yourself the truth.
Well, Saharah Ali, remind me when the next sound bath is.
March 21st at Yoga House. Get
Mar-
there at 5:30.
March 21st, Yoga House. Oh, you can
It's
embrace the
Saturday.
retro shade with a little bit of sound bathing. Saharah Ali, as always, it's great to talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominique. Thank you, KBLA family. Be mindful of your power and be unapologetic in taking your power back to celebrate yourself.
Indeed, indeed. SaharahAli.com. SaharahAli.com is where you can find out even more information. I'm Dominique DePrima. Phone lines are open wide right now, 800-920-1580. KBLA delegation, do your thing. That's next, only right here.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions. This is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day. All the women who independent, throw your hands up at me.
This March, we're turning up the volume on the women who changed everything. KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to celebrate Women's History Month, honoring the trailblazers, truth tellers, and game changers who shaped our world, our culture, and our community. From the freedom fighters to the firsts, from the boardroom to the front lines, from the unsung to the unforgettable. All month long, we're celebrating the stories, the voices, and the conversations that remind us that women, Black women, have always led the way. Don't miss a moment. This is our moment. This is our story. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580, Los Angeles' home for the conversations that matter.
I'm your girl, you're my girl, we're your girls. Won't you know that we love you?
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
He's the son of a school teacher and Navy veteran who built a company worth billions and walked away from it. Tom Steyer, pledging to give away half of everything he earned to charity and fight for Californians. So when out-of-state corporations weren't paying their fair share of taxes, Tom Steyer led the fight for Prop 39 and won, earning California billions of dollars for our schools. Tom took on Big Oil to stop them polluting our air and water and smash them. Tom fought for free school lunches so no child goes hungry. Tom Steyer, strong enough to take on the special interests crushing us with the cost of living. As governor, Tom will stop Wall Street from buying up middle-class homes, lower utility rates by 25%, and ban corporate PAC money from our politics. Other politicians talk. Tom Steyer gets it done. Ad paid for by Steyer for Governor 2026.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
One particular young man all day. Supposed to be a bad blues man. Preacher boy, where you at? Come on over here, man. little cousin, y'all. Watch this. Hold up. Tell me who you are. Where you from?
I'm Sammy Moore. I'm a sharecropper from Sunflower Plantation. They call me Preacher Boy, counting my daddy being a pastor. I wrote this song for him. Something I've been wanting to tell you for a long time. It might hurt you, hope you don't lose your mind. Well, I was just a boy, about 8 years old. You threw me a Bible on that Mississippi road. See, I love you, Papa, you did all you could do. And they say the truth hurts, so I lied to you. Yes, I lied to you. I love the blues.
KBLA Talk 1580. They lied to you again because there is no world in which one battle after another is a better picture than Sinners. There is no world. Wait, there is a world. It's called the World of Hollywood, old school Oscar entitlement. But that's what happened. One battle after another, one best picture. There's just no world. I watched both of them carefully. I watched Sinners twice. One battle after another is good, but I think we will look back in history, and this will be one of those crash moments at the Oscars. What do I mean by crash? Crash won, I think, Best Picture, and everyone lauded it, and we look back at it now, and it seems quaint, and it seems like politically, it seems like very much of that time and very much of the Hollywood mindset, but not rooted in any kind of actual culture or reality. That's, one battle after another. I enjoyed it. We talked about how the political problems with that picture, you can tell that it's about movement, and it's sort of a broad satire, but it's not of movement, because there's a lot of things there that are just two-dimensional and stereotypical. That even that telling by a person who's not black of the black radical organizing experiences not ringing real authentic for me. And okay, they won, congratulations to them, but there's no world there is no world in which one battle after another is a better film than Sinners. Now, am I comparing it to every single movie there that was up for Best Picture? No, because I did not see every single movie there. But if the two front runners in that category were Sinners and One Battle After Another, which clearly they were, I can credibly compare those two. And no. Congratulations going out to Michael B. Jordan. He won Best Actor, and I love the fact that the room exploded in support and applause and love because he's popular, because the work is great. The actors voted for him for the Actor Award, which is given out by the Screen Actors Guild, and voted on by other members of that union. So clearly, Michael B. Jordan is beloved inside the industry by his peers, and he won that well-deserved Oscar. Congratulations to him. You talk about Best Supporting Actor. Sean Penn beats Delroy Lindo, and Sean Penn did not attend. I believe that was his fourth Oscar. Sean Penn is a great actor. I was rooting for Delroy Lindo, not just for Sinners, but for his body of work that has been repeatedly overlooked. But they did not give him that honor. They handed it to Sean Penn, who is not a big fan of the Oscars and did not attend. I thought they might give it to Benicio del Toro because he's also a great actor who's very popular and maybe perhaps would be recognized for his body of work. but they went with Sean Penn, which is interesting because he was really, really powerful in that movie, but it's also very much, it is a satire style, so it's a very big performance. It's very large strokes, let me put it that way. And about Best Director? Well, we've got news, traffic, and sports, and let's talk about that. Let's talk about war. Let's talk about peace. KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Local lawmakers are demanding answers after reports that 9/11 health program workers are being reassigned to ICE. Senator Chuck Schumer calls it a disgrace.
It would be bad enough if they just reduced the number, but to put them into ICE is a double whammy.
Homeland Security denies any 9/11 workers were moved to ICE. A white woman in Frisco, Texas was caught on video threatening to shoot a black mother and two 12-year-old girls filming a TikTok video at a public park after using a racial slur. The woman, Ashton Best, has since been fired from her job, but no arrests were made. The family is now raising money for a civil lawsuit. And Sean Diddy Combs is appealing his 50-month sentence, arguing he's being punished for charges on which he was acquitted. His lawyers call the sentence a perversion of justice, saying it's far harsher than typical Mann Act cases. Appeal arguments begin April 9th. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Visit Hard Rock Casino Tejon for the $500,000 Luck of the Irish BMW drawing. Drawings every Thursday in March. Hard Rock Casino Tejon, the closest casino to downtown LA. The excitement starts here at the new Hard Rock Casino Tejon.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man. 5 straight wins for the Lakers has moved them up to 3rd place in the Western Conference with 15 games left in the regular season. The Lakers are at Houston tonight. The Clippers are at home tonight against San Antonio. No word yet on Kawhi Leonard's status. He sprained his ankle in Saturday's loss to Sacramento. The UCLA women's basketball team joins undefeated UConn, Texas, and South Carolina as the top 4 seeds in the NCAA tournament. UCLA is the number 1 seed in the Sacramento Regional. The Bruins have a first-round game Saturday at Pauley Pavilion against California Baptist, champions of the Western Athletic Conference. The USC women's team got an at-large bid despite losing their last 4 games. USC is the number 9 seed in the Sacramento Regional. The Trojans play Clemson Saturday in Columbia, South Carolina. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
They say time flies when you're having fun. The founding members cohort of The Art of Conversation is almost over. Hard to believe. It's been a joy sharing what I've discovered after nearly 40 years of conversations with presidents, cultural icons, and game changers in every field of human endeavor. If you missed the first cohort, the good news is that we're already planning the next one. Now, the seats will be limited, and those on our waiting list will receive exclusive early access and special discounts not available to the general public. So, if you are ready to transform the way you connect, lead, and build trust, do not hesitate. Go to TavishTalks.com and join the waiting list today. That's TavishTalks.com. The next cohort is coming. Make sure you are in the room. I'm Tavish Smiley, and I hope to see you there.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Dominique DePrima, KBLA Talk 1580 host and African Focus Incorporated cultural ambassador. You probably know by now that every year our 2 organizations team up to lead a trip to the motherland. This June will be our 8th African Focus Trailblazers Tour, and it's not too late to join us. But if you've been thinking of going with us, now is the time to sign on before prices go up. Our current deadline is March 20th. Join us as we travel to a country widely considered one of Africa's most underrated destinations, Zambia, home to the towering Victoria Falls and the bustling capital city, Lusaka. Enjoy a visit to Botswana, known for its pristine natural beauty and stunning southern African wildlife. We travel in comfort with luxury accommodations, a variety of fun activities, and delicious dining. We do service with charitable work at a school and an orphanage, and we expand our horizons with cultural and historical excursions. To sign up now before our March 20th deadline, please call African Focus Incorporated at 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300. Or check out africanfocus.org. Whether it's in the community or traveling the globe, we move as family. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Let's go.
Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, USA. Welcome back to your home for unapologetically progressive radio, KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, indeed. Not to spend too much more time on the Oscars. I understand people say we don't need validation from these organizations, but I agree we don't need it. We have our own awards, we have our own standards, we have our own institutions. However, these awards come with money and opportunities. And so I do think that we should be represented proportional to our contribution to the culture, to the artistry, and to the success of this entertainment industry, which is one of the United States' biggest exports. So, Best Director. If we want to talk about the Best Director award at the Oscars, there are, at least Spike Lee should have one, right? Spike Lee should have one for Malcolm X. I'm not a person that thinks every single thing that Spike Lee does should be automatically awarded and that he's some great genius. Yes, he is a brilliant filmmaker, but no matter how you look at it, he should have won Best Director, but he did not. So far, no black man has ever won Best Director. No black woman either, for that matter. So what I'm saying, I guess, is no black person has ever won Best Director. And this, I think, is one of the areas where we're going to have the hardest time cracking that ceiling, because the director is the most revered position in Hollywood. The name says it. You're in charge, director. So we've gotten to the point now where we might be able to give you credit from time to time for Best Actor or even Best Writer, which is what they gave to Ryan Coogler, Best Original Screenplay for Sinners. But they can't quite come up off of that Best Director spot. And Best Director has traditionally been almost exclusively white men. White women rarely get it, although a couple have, I believe. I know at least one has, but not a black man. And that holds because Ryan Coogler was not given the award. I believe he will win it. Maybe not this, obviously not this year, maybe not next year, maybe not the year after. But Ryan Coogler is coming for that, and he's coming hard. And the other thing is that he makes so much money for these studios that I don't know how they're going to be able to deny him. I certainly don't think they were going to give it to him for Sinners because of the message of that movie, if nothing else, right? But Paul Thomas Anderson wins for One Battle After Another. And I already said what I thought about that movie, so I'm not going to be repetitive. But once again, the black director is passed over, and the woman director is passed over for Hamnet, Chloe Zhao, and the award goes to Paul Thomas Anderson. So that's Oscars doing what Oscar does, but I can feel the momentum there. And I also feel that I think they nominated Sinners for more Oscars than any movie that has ever been nominated in the history of the Oscars, which was a triumph in itself. We knew they weren't going to give 16 Oscars to this film, and I would have been surprised if it got Best Picture because of the content. I thought they might do Best Director because Ryan Coogler is so prolific, because it's so well directed, and because it made so much money. But no, they did not. The drought for black men in Best Director, black people, continues, but they didn't shut it out. And I feel like they knew they had to give Coogler some kind of big Oscar, so he got Best Original Screenplay, and they took care of Michael B. Jordan. But yeah, you know what comes next. What comes next is us honoring us supporting our films, us supporting our artists. I did get to go see Red Harlem, the play that Dr. Micah Johnson, who's been a guest a couple times on this show, he was in it. He invited me. It was a great production, beautifully costumed, beautifully directed, wonderfully acted. The politics of it are not my politics, let me put it that way, but interesting. It talks about, it's historical. It talks about, the play is about this group of actors in Harlem who were recruited to do a film in Russia. So there's all these politics and history about black people at that time, and the politics of the Communist Party and of Russia when it comes to interfacing with racism and the battle against racism. So all of that stuff is fascinating, and I found the play to be an excellent production. I just, when I say the politics, I think in the end they decided that, well, somehow the end of the, well, I don't want it. Even though you miss the run, it may come back. I'm not sure if I should give spoilers, but let me just say that the conclusions that those black people came to about what might be best in their lives, which is the purview of the writer, that they were not necessarily the choices that I would make. But congratulations to Company of Angels and Dr. Micah Johnson for a wonderful production. And once again, that was written by Kimba Henderson. So I think that's the person I would need the conversation with regarding that. And Bernadette Speaks did an excellent job directing that, and to a great and powerful cast. Really a great show. I love to see all of the amazing art that's happening here in the city of LA and around the world during these rather scary, scary times. The war in Iran now in its 17th day today, and shows no signs of stopping. Israel is saying they're going to keep bombing Iran as long as they deem it necessary. And it's interesting that they seem to be taking the lead, and Trump docilely following along with their playbook. And he said over the weekend that the people that need oil out of the Strait of Hormuz, the countries that need oil from there, should get together and figure out how to reopen that passageway, which apparently handles about 20% of the world's oil exports, which is why our gas prices are going up, 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 up. Oil is at $104 a barrel right now, which is high and rising. And it's not going to open. No one's sending their ships there because they're going to get blown up. No one wants to blow up their tankers or the crews from those tankers, so it's not going to happen. And I wonder what impacts. See, these are the monetary things. I know this president doesn't care about people being blown up because they're blowing up boats, right, around Venezuela and the Caribbean with no proof that people are drug dealers, just killing dozens of people. So why would they care about the close to 2,000 that have already died between Iran and Lebanon in this conflict? They don't. But when gas prices start going up, 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 and it makes them look bad to voters, when the airport at Dubai gets bombed by a drone strike, which it did early this morning and had to shut down for a time after a fire, that's when I think they are going to start to care a little bit more, because it costs money. It costs them and their allies money. And we're starting to see some of the leaders in the Middle East trying to figure out how to stop this thing, because it is costing them money. Also destabilizing the region. I mean, if you think about it, the Israeli assault is hitting Lebanon and it's hitting Iran, but the retaliation by Iran is hitting all kinds of nations in the region. And so this is destabilizing the whole region, their commerce, their trade, and their everyday lives. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is holding back. NATO's not riding in like the cavalry to get involved in this, and so Trump is threatening them over the weekend, saying it's a very bad future for NATO if they don't jump in and help the U.S. and Israel. But other nations are taking a more cautious approach, as they should. Nobody wants to be in a forever war, and this is one of the things we were promised by this president that he was not going to be engaging in. But the world is on fire right now. The Middle East, as they call it. And Israel is saying it continues until we say it stops. And so whether they're officially in or not, the whole world is now part of this conflict. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. That's a number to call if you want to talk about war or peace, how we get there, or everything else in the world is on the table as well. I'm Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Warning, evacuation in progress. Leave the building.
It's a total takeover.
That's what I want.
On Friday, March 27th, KBLA Talk 1580 belongs to the women.
Are you ready?
All day long, from 6 in the morning to midnight, the mic belongs to powerful, accomplished women, and we are not letting go. Nothing but the voices of women who inspire, challenge, and move us forward. It's the women of KBLA Talk 1580, sun up to sundown. I'm Dominique DePrima, and I'll anchor the day with a 3-hour live panel from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the state of black women in LA, followed by women talking to women all day long about the issues that matter most. Our hosts for the day include Jill Monroe, Adrian Shropshire, Dr. Melina Abdullah, Angela Reddick-Wright, Raquel Graham, Angelique Francis, Tasha Thomas, Dr. Shalonda Crawford, Dion Raymond, and featuring special guest hosts Santita Jackson and Amanda Seals. This is Women's History Month, and we're not just celebrating it, we're amplifying it. Join us Friday, March 27th on KBLA Talk 1580, where women take over all day, all night. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 and all of our socials for the rundown. You don't want to miss a single word. And happy Women's History Month from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
To my ladies,
I'll show you know how to work that.
Go.
You are the bomb.
Old-fashioned soul.
Where you eating at? Hi, I'm Greg Doolin, inviting you to a special celebration of Women's History Month. Join KBLA Talk 1580 for its annual symposium, The State of Black Women in LA. Broadcast live from Doolin's Soul Food on Crenshaw, Friday, March 27th, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., moderated by Dominique DePrima. And yes, breakfast is just $15.80. Come get fed twice. Your stomach and your mind will thank you. We'll see you Friday morning, March 27th, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. at Doolin's Soul Food on Crenshaw for the State of Black Women in LA. Broadcast live only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Los Angeles, our homes are more than property. They're legacy. Right now, one of the largest wealth transfers in history is happening through real estate, and too many homeowners in our community are losing hard-earned equity. Donald L. Bishop Jr., associate broker with Coldwell Banker Realty, is committed to protecting families' equity through integrity and transparency. With over 20 years of real estate experience, he represents sellers, buyers, and especially seniors. Call 323-401-4126. Live well with Donald L. Bishop Jr., Cal Green number 019-77035.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate meets a scholarly match.
And its scholarly match is you. Don't forget the KBLA delegation is in the comments over at YouTube, youtube.com, KBLA 1580. And they always have a lot of great information and excellent conversation. Molly Bell, I didn't watch the whole Oscars either. I watched highlights. I watched Michael B. Jordan, but I always look at the results. And, yeah. I said what I said. So you see that the chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, which is over broadcast radio and television, on Saturday threatened to take away broadcasters' licenses because of the way we're talking about the war with Iran. He says there's a liberal bias in broadcasts. I disagree. I think there is a conservative bias. I think the data supports me, not Brandon Carr, because there are only 2 black-owned talk radio stations in the whole country. Most of the talk radio is owned by far right-wing conservatives who talk all day and night on thousands of stations, talk bad about Democrats, about black people, about Latinos. That's what they do. But he, claiming that there's a liberal bias, is accusing broadcasters of distorting the news and what he called running hoaxes, and warned them that they have to course correct or they will not get their licenses renewed to broadcast. So now this is definitely the state-sponsored media phase, because Trump put out a critique of the media on Truth Social, claiming that we're making him look bad in the war in Iran, and then following his lead immediately thereafter, the FCC chief reads Truth Social and then threatens broadcasters over exactly what Trump was talking about. So it means that the president can dictate via social media freedom of the press or non-freedom of the press, which is crazy if you really think about it. I mean, that you're going to threaten to take our licenses away because you don't like our politics is the definition of state media control. It's the definition of censorship. It is the definition, the ultimate in anti-democratic press. Freedom of the press what? Freedom of the press where? The president tweets and we cower. That's where we are right now. He has the power to do that. The FCC decides who gets a broadcast license and who does not. And this man, Brendan Carr, who's the president of the FCC commissioner, the governing board there, is openly threatening broadcasters. This in an environment where broadcasters and social media companies have turned over millions of dollars to the president because he threatens them with lawsuits or whatever he's threatening them with to control the narrative about the war. Meanwhile, Pete Hegseth is kicking people out of the Pentagon, controlling the photos. They can't even have photographers in there because they might take ugly pictures of him. And so, again, they're controlling that narrative and limiting what is said by threatening to take away broadcast licenses, as if having your campaign contributor, Larry Ellison, buying everything, owning CNN, CBS, TikTok, wasn't enough to control the narrative. Now you have to threaten everybody else. That's shameful. That is shameful. That is so far away from what we claim to be. I'm Dominique DePrima, and this is KBLA Talk 1580.
First things first with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Heading out of town this spring? Metro makes getting to LAX easier than ever. Just take the C or K train lines to the new LAX Metro Transit Center. Then catch a free shuttle straight to your terminal. Easy, affordable, stress-free. Travel smart. Go Metro. Hey LA, spring into savings with a special offer from LADWP. Now through March 31st, get a Flume device for free. What's a Flume? It's an easy-to-install home water monitor and leak detector that helps you catch leaks early and track water use. Don't wait. Order your free Flume before March 31st at ladwp.com/FLUME. That's ladwp.com/FLUME.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate meets a scholarly match.
Oh, yes, some moments and some moments. Thinking about the Oscars and Michael B. Jordan shouting out all the Oscar winners, black Oscar winners that came before him. Without saying the word black, he made it clear that he was standing on the shoulders of those that came before him. I love that. He shouted out Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Sidney Poitier, taking it back to the first black man to win that Oscar for lead actor. And I love that because he shouted out Jamie Foxx and Forrest Whitaker and Will Smith, who have also won. And he didn't have to say, I'm doing DEI. He didn't have to say, I'm rooting for everybody black. He just merely named the people whose shoulders he stands on. And that was classy. Everyone was talking about what a great speech he made. The airlines are pretty mad right now. The airline CEOs have made a demand to Congress that they bring back funding for Homeland Security to end the partial government shutdown because TSA workers are not getting paid and many of them have stopped coming to work. I mean, would you keep going to work if you weren't getting paid? They just passed their second paycheck that wasn't a paycheck, where they're showing up and getting nothing. So now American, Delta, Southwest, and JetBlue have demanded to Congress that they do something to make sure that aviation workers and TSA workers are getting paid. They wrote an open letter to Congress. They need to write an open letter to the president, although they probably don't need to because their money, their corporate clout, seems like what stopped the last government shutdown. When the corporate CEOs get mad, the Trump administration responds. They don't care about the people. They don't care about votes anymore, apparently. They don't care about our allies, the international stage, women and children being bombed, people starving in Cuba. None of that do they care about. But when the corporate CEOs say, yo, this is messing up our business model, I expect action. That's what we saw with the last government shutdown. Watch this space, because my belief is that between that and our, the pressure from the wealthy, I won't even call them allies, customer nations of the Middle East, those are the things that would reopen the government and the partial shutdown and possibly come up with some kind of plan, because clearly the president does not have one, to get out of the war in Iran, which was started by the United States and Israel, but they seem very belligerent and hell-bent on keeping it going for as long as possible. They keep declaring victory, but they keep dropping bombs. We've got news, traffic, and sports, then more on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Local lawmakers are demanding answers after reports that 9/11 health program workers are being reassigned to ICE. Senator Chuck Schumer calls it a disgrace.
It would be bad enough if they just reduced the number, but to put them into ICE is a double whammy.